When the first Avengers came out, I remember viewing it in awe. I thought to myself, this is going to change everything about cinema. What films like Citizen Kane, Jaws, and Star Wars had done for the medium, this was going to do it too. Now cross-franchise films seem like a bright and shining future. Seeing our favorite characters crossing over into other films to work together, cinematic universes seemed awesome. But it seemed that every franchise that tried it got to a bumpy start. DC did Green Lantern, which bombed, but after a few tries, the DCEU was finally off and running. Godzilla tried it too, but didn't get much footing until King Kong Skull Island was released. Of all the franchises to make a cinematic universe, the most obvious was the Universal monster films, because really, they were the ones that originated it all in the first place. They were unique, visually stunning, and creative creature features, the things of nightmares, and were so iconic that they became staples of horror and even Halloween itself. So when it was announced that we'd be getting a reboot in the form of Universal's Dark Universe, and the first one was going to be The Mummy, I got excited. I mean, The Mummy is the most rebooted of all these films in the franchise. But what did we get instead? A colossal bag of aggravated donkey dicks. This film is bad. I mean bad. It's bad. It's not even just bad, it's terrible. Some would say, a fucking travesty. The film is the worst of the worst. I mean, talk about missing the mark. This film misses the point of making a Universal horror film and makes what really amounts to a piss-poor version of Uncharted. Yeah, the graphics are great and there's a star-studded cast, but Jesus Christ, that makes the film feel more ironic than anything else. You ever see a movie where characters are watching a movie that has real actors in it, but the movie is over-exaggerated to make it seem more ridiculous than the movie you're watching? Well, that's this movie. It's absurdly over the top, focusing more on being a big action film than a unique creature feature. There used to be a time when the Universal monsters were revered, not just as popcorn flicks, but as prime horror. They were the things we were afraid of, the reason we didn't go into the dark rooms at night, or looked under the bed. They were the epitome of horror icons, and after a while, yeah, they became a little stale, but they were adapted for the times, and we got the Hammer films because of it, and which are amazing horror films. But it seems that Universal has no confidence in their monsters being scary, and they aimed for action instead. But the thing is, you can still make Dracula scary, you can still make Frankenstein scary. It just requires creativity, not going for the easy out, because you tend to fade into the background rather than stand out and lead the pack if you do that. In fact, no confidence is a good way to describe every cinematic universe other than Marvel. No DC fanboys, that does not mean I prefer Marvel DC, it's just a fact about the cinematic universe. But everyone is so scared of failing that they usually throw out a crap film first to see what works and what doesn't work, and then they just make the next one better. It's like cinematic Darwinism, which wouldn't be so bad if it didn't mean having a bad film to start with. I want a cinematic universe I can binge through and enjoy from end to end, not something that gets progressively better from beginning to end. My opinion, watch the originals, or even the Hammer films, or even the Brendan Fraser trilogy. The Mummy, another reason Anakin hates sand.